Okay, since I'm running short of time and I don't have the time to fix the PowerPoint Excel on my computer, I'm just going to present it this way. This is my presentation, Empathy Over a Lifespan. Where Does It Come From? By Sarah McCrary. All right, what is empathy? Stepping into the shoes of others and feeling what they feel. According to Stern and DeVecchia from an article posted in Psychology Today titled The Empathy Trap, they state for empathy involves not just feelings but thoughts, and it encompasses two people, the person we are feeling for and our own self. Compassion, the start of empathy? According to Amanda Freeman's article, Raising a Kid Who Cares, she writes for, it's hard to pinpoint when the capacity for compassion develops, but even babies as young as 6 months can be sensitive to other people's feelings. Witness your baby's tears when your voice is angry and the giggles when you're smiling and happy. What about video gaming? Can this actually promote empathy in kids? A research put out by American Psychological Association states for research found support for hypothesis that exposure to pro-social video games is positively related to pro-social effect and negatively related to antisocial effect. Also, per that same research, more specifically, we found that exposure to pro-social relative to neutral and antisocial video games enhanced interpersonal empathy and diminished reported schadenfreude toward a target befalling a misfortune. Is it perspective taking or empathy? Which is preferred? In a study published by Journal of Applied Psychology, it was found for implications of construct substitutability have led researchers to hypothesize and find general similarities in the consequences of perspective taking and empathetic concern. Both seeing their side and feeling their pain can be seen as ways of trying to understand the internal thoughts and experiences of others. Perspective taking was found to be the better choice in socially competitive environments. However, empathy was found to be a stronger choice for regular social settings. According to this same study, they noted that emotions of empathetic concern in response to the target's perceived experiences motivate the actor to move toward the needs of the target, but perspective taking can either motivate the actor to move forward or to navigate around those desires or needs. I took this to mean that being empathetic at work is not always suitable, considering that if you're in a supervisor or a management position, that you do not really need to be that close to your employees. Other than that, as far as being on a social stance, showing empathy is a stronger trait and better way to be. Genetics, or is empathy something we acquire over time? This is a picture of my mother looking over my papa in his last days with my grandmother, who've been married for over 68 years, holding hands. A study on genetics and environmental contributions found that by 24 months, genetic effect accounting about a quarter of the variants emerged and remained stable towards 36 months as no further new genetic effects emerged, and hereditability 36 months loaded fully on the genetic components emerging in earlier ages. The study then advised that this means that a substantial change occurs in this period that is mainly due to genetic factors. Of interest, this research found that levels of empathetic concern grow with age due to life surroundings. Who knew? Contagious yawning is a sign of empathy. A research published by the American Psychological Association examined and found clear evidence that susceptibility to contagious yawning is related to empathy. The study showed that these results suggest that contagious yawning is a special and distinct phenomenon. It is hard to control and seems to be biologically ingrained in highly social species such as monkeys, apes, and humans. We couldn't find a picture of anybody yawning, so I recruited these two to do it for me. Literary reading and empathy, another connection in learning empathy. One short study led by Eva Maria Koopman was done to show the connection of literary reading and empathy. She wanted to show that literary reading could be beneficial to society in a pro-social manner. She noted, it is easy enough to theorize about the impact of literary reading on empathetic reactions, but to empirically prove such effects is more difficult. Of interest, what I found was that she discovered in her research was that she didn't really want to know after all. In terms of literature and how the world views it, she stated, this value lies in beauty, in craftsmanship, in expression, and in engagement with human cultural practice. But we should be wary of judging on art form primarily on the basis of its pro-social usage. Literature does not simply lead us to become better people. Literary works can also be disturbing, and it is vital that they remain a free playing space for human thought. This meaning that art forms and people's writing in general doesn't specifically need to be all about pro-social, that writing is a true way for people to let out a lot of what they're holding in, regardless of whether it's good or bad. Empathy and bullying. Does an empathetic stance help? A study was done by Caitlin Peets to examine whether classroom bullying norms influence the degree to which children defend and respond to their empathy, efficacy, and popularity. The results from this research found that the degree to which effective empathy predicts defending depends on the classroom norms. My understanding of the research was that empathy did work unless it was known to be a cool thing to bully within the classroom in most cases. The overall betterment of society when empathy is in play. Further research should be done. Adolescents, growing adults want social dominance and will avoid empathetic situations in order to maintain such dominance. A research found in developmental psychology of the relation between empathy and anti-immigrant attitudes in adolescents proved that empathy seems to be a motivated phenomenon in which individuals are driven to engage in or avoid empathy depending on their goals, beliefs, and social norms. In regards to decreasing proactive aggression, a study found in American Journal of Orthopsychiatry advised that interventions for clinical groups of children with externalizing behavioral problems should incorporate prompting empathy in response to distress of others to reduce proactive aggression. My findings have shown that in most cases, empathy can better society in many ways. God's take on empathy? Well, the Bible states in Romans 12:15 through 16, the King James Version, for us to rejoice with them that do rejoice and weep with them that weep, be in the same mind one toward another. Learning and teaching empathy is imperative when understanding Christianity. Having a complete balance and perspective on life helps us to be real with one another and allows an unbreakable trust to be built. Jesus exemplified what true empathy was on the cross, and I believe that the phenomenon of such empathy originated through Christ. These two bottom pictures are on perspective. At first you see a little girl having fun, but behind that fun, in the first picture on the snow there, you'll notice the legs kicking up in the back. And in her second picture, you'll notice the face smashed up on the glass on the bottom. What it takes to help somebody else feel the joy that they want them to feel and want to be part of that.